Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country Returns. We're getting ready to start World 5 of the Forest with Vine Valley. And of course, if you remember, Vine Valley was actually the name of the forest world in the original Donkey Kong Country, so at the same time, it's kind of a throwback, but it's also sort of a slap in the face. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, we actually did name the worlds in the other games, right? Well, there you go. But anyway, we do kind of start out in the cave still. We've still kind of yet to make our escape, I guess you could say. First, you want to head over to the left, and a puzzle piece is right over here. Now, as we go to the right, we can bounce off these mushrooms, and then keep going up. Now, we got to avoid these little sun things on our way up, which are pretty easy to avoid. It's not that hard to time. And grab all the coins there. That was pretty neat. And then once we get up here, we're going to actually start the forest. And if you listen closely during this level, you'll hear some very familiar music. It's almost largely unchanged from the original Donkey Kong Country, so it's definitely pretty cool. I do like the atmosphere it provides. Okay, so we need to just keep going here. There's not really too much to worry about collecting at this point. But we want to head on down here and to the right. Just watch out for this guy. Let him go. And, oh yeah, of course got hit by that. I think we can, yeah, we can roll over here to the right and enter a bonus game. Alright, so you know what to do here. We've done this one a few times now. I've kind of started to develop a little bit of a strategy here. As you can see, that went quite a lot better than some of them have in the past, so I don't know, I guess just repetition, you learn to get used to it. But alright, so let's head back out, and it thoughtfully puts us back up here, because now we need to actually swing across on the vines. And this is the first time we've encountered the vines. It's taken quite a long time for that to happen. I'm pretty sure it was in, like, the second level of the original game you got introduced to vines, so it's taken a little while by comparison, but that's fine. Alright, so let's just keep on going across here. If we want that life balloon, it's kind of tricky to get. It's a very weird jump, so I usually just ignore it. It's not like I need the lives at this point anyway. Alright, and then if you want, you can go up there to try to get those. Just make sure the next vine is in reach before you jump off. You know, don't just blindly jump and hope you'll make it. So, alright, there's the K right there. That one's pretty automatic. I don't think you can miss that. Alright, jump off these guys to get some more banana coins. Got some bananas in there, and nothing. Alright, and if you look closely at that plant down there at the bottom right of the screen, you can see something behind it. Now we actually, of course, want to jump in there, shoot back to the left, and grab that puzzle piece. And now actually continue on. And, oh, of course, I'm going to have to wait for the vine again. There we go. It takes a little while. It's hard to work out the timing sometimes. And there's also a lot of bananas on those, so that's always pretty cool. Then if we head down here underneath and pound on this bulb, we'll get our fourth puzzle piece. So I need to head back and go on up. Oh yeah, you also noticed there, I didn't even pay attention. If you stay on this vine too long, he'll start eating it up, and then, you know, eventually you'll obviously take damage if you stay too long, so don't. Alright, and then up here you can actually see there's a vine at the very top that's kind of where I'm jumping to. It's a little bit hidden, but it is up there. So you want to come over here and then jump from the top of this in order to get over to it, then climb on up, and we'll go to another bonus game. So here's the two big moving platforms one again. I don't know, I've been kind of thinking about starting to just edit some of these out, because it's just the same thing over and over, but I don't know, it doesn't take too long, so I guess it doesn't really matter. The videos are kind of short enough as it is, really. But, alright, so let's go ahead and grab that puzzle piece and then get back to the level. Alright, let's see. Now I need to just keep on going to the right here this time. I got another one of those chomp vines to worry about. So let's just pick our timing and go. And of course the O is up there on top. That's pretty easy to see. So just grab it and get going. And then our next checkpoint. Now here we want to make sure to grab all the bananas. It's pretty easy to do because all you have to do is just climb down to the bottom. You can't fall off or anything as long as you're holding the grab button. So then once you grab those two vines worth of bananas, the puzzle piece appears up there. Just make sure to go back up and swing over to get it. Now we've got to get the N up here. The jumps start to get a little bit strange at this point, so just keep your wits about you. You don't really need to worry about those yellow chomps too much either. Alright, so let's just keep going here. We gotta be somewhat quick, but you got more time than you think. I gotta grab the G up here at the top. And now we're just about done. Let's go ahead and jump on these guys, get a few more coins while we're at it. And, oh well, a heart, thanks. I didn't need it, but that's fine. Alright, now let's wait for this vine. Grab all these bananas. And grab all these bananas. They give you a lot of them, don't they? Alright, now here, the exit barrel is to our right, but first we want to blow all of these helicopter plants, including this one, and grab the bananas. Once we do that, the final puzzle piece appears. We've got everything, so let's get on out of here. Oh, of course, and I got something completely useless. Awesome. Yep, so that's going to do it for 5-1. You can tell things are starting to get a little bit more tricky as we go along, but the music, and it's actually going to happen another time in this world where another song is going to be very nostalgic, I guess you could say. So it provides a really cool atmosphere. The forest theme was always one of my favorite songs, so it's definitely pretty cool that it's in here. But let's go to 5-2, Clingy Swingy. Awesome. So yeah, as the name implies, there's going to be a lot of climbable surfaces in this level, and of course, they're going to swing around, so we got some tricky climbing platforming to do, but should be alright. Now there are 5 puzzle pieces in this level, I believe, so we'll have to look around for those pretty well. Alright, so let's just keep going, and of course, here's where the climbing starts. As you can see, once we climb on this thing, it's going to sort of tilt. You gotta be pretty quick there to get past those guys, but as long as you're, somewhat fast, it should be alright. It's a lot easier than it seems. And then, of course, these blue, choppy guys make their return, which I'm not too excited about, but it'll be alright. Alright, so now, of course, once we climb on these, they're going to start swinging around, and this is where the level gets its name from. We got some coins up there if you want them, but well, since I'm up here, I might as well. Then we got to grab onto this. I don't think there's anything in here. Yeah, just a coin, which I don't care about. Now we've got this really, the one that's going to have this really large swing radius. You want to stay pretty much in the middle there so you can grab the K. Of course, if you miss it, you can ride it back, so you've got a couple chances to do that. Well, I mean, I guess you have as many as you want, but... Alright, now, you can see there's a bulb that's on top of that little climbable ceiling there. If we can use these guys, we can get up there and pound on it in order to find our first puzzle piece. Alright, so now as we keep going, just make sure to keep watching out for those guys, and also make sure that you don't bounce on them and into one of the plant things shots. That would be bad, so... Alright, now as we keep going, you can see there's also another path up there above, and there's a blast barrel to the left. We're going to be getting to that, but we've got to get across here first. And once we do that, some more of these bats are going to come out, so we can just jump off of him and onto the top, then make our way underneath these guys and to the barrel. Then when we jump into the barrel, it'll take us to a bonus game. And now here we're going to have to bounce and get all the flying bananas, including the winged ones that I still don't understand, but whatever, it's fine. So let's just finish this one up. It's going pretty well. Alright, get that last coin, and there we go. Okay, so let's go back to the level here. We need to make our way across to the right once again, and this time continue onward. I guess we could take the upper path here if we want. I don't think there's really anything else up here, but no. Oh well, I guess you don't have to worry about dealing with that plant, so that works. Alright, and now we can climb around this, and there's a pretty obvious yellow bulb up here at the top, which is going to house our third puzzle piece. Now we've got another one with a long swing radius. And jump off at the top. It can be kind of hard to figure out where to go there. You just barely see that platform in time, so... Alright, and then up here we're going to have to, again, go around these guys. Don't bother with that bulb. There's just like bananas in there, and you'll probably get hit if you try to grab it, so... Oh man, that's like the second time I got hit by those guys. Alright, and here we just go underneath these. Well, it's no big problem. And wait for it to swing back our way. Alright, yeah, now here we're going to have to drop down onto these bottom platforms in order to grab the O, so just make sure you land on one of those. You can land on either one, so that's really not that difficult to do. Now let's jump across and get our checkpoint, and keep going. We got some coins up here if you want to jump off these guys for them. I guess it's not really that hard to do, so you might as well. And just wait for the path to clear. Of course, sometimes if you stand on these too long, you'll start sliding, so just keep that in mind. But thankfully there's a DK barrel right there, so it didn't really matter too much. I don't think there's anything really in here. Yeah, just a banana. Now, on this one, you want to get on top of it because there's a puzzle piece right there. And you also want to drop down after it goes by in order to grab the N underneath. Then get back on as it swings back across. And now we can keep going to the right. Alright, and let's see. Nothing in here. I don't remember if there's a puzzle piece inside that bulb or not. I guess we'll find out. Nope, just a coin. Alright. And we don't need to worry about those helicopter plants either, but definitely watch out for the snakes. I was just being a little quick there. Then you want to come to this climbable surface underneath here to grab the G, which is going to finish off the Kong letters. And the last puzzle piece is right underneath there, so just climb around when the snakes aren't nearby. That marks 5 out of 5. Awesome. So now all that's left to do is to get to the exit barrel. We got another one of these long swings here, which is pretty cool. And jump off at the end, and there is the exit barrel. I didn't know I was going to get that, but there you go. 8 banana bunches, I guess that works. There's the Kong letters and the 5 puzzle pieces. Awesome. So, yeah, you can tell they're getting kind of creative with the climbing mechanics there. I kind of like that because the areas are just so, like, huge and big and open, you know. It really feels like you're moving super fast when you're climbing on the platforms that have the really large swinging radius, so it's pretty neat. But we're going to go to 5-3, Flutter Flyaway. Now this level stands out to me for a couple of reasons, one being that we're going to be encountering another new song that's definitely very reminiscent, in fact taken almost straight from the original Donkey Kong Country, and it was one of my favorite tracks in that game, and it definitely is in this one as well. You can probably already sort of hear what it is a little bit, but the second reason is because this, I think, is where the platforming definitely gets noticeably harder, to the point where you might actually struggle a little bit to get through. So we're definitely getting a little ways up there in the difficulty ranks, and you know, it makes sense because we're in World 5 now, so it's definitely been enough time for us to get used to the controls. Now they're going to start throwing some pretty mean stuff at us, so... Yeah, and by now you can definitely tell what the track is. It's the track that we originally heard. I believe it was in Treetop Town in the original Donkey Kong Country, and that consequently is one of my favorite levels as well. So, you know, it definitely brings a good feeling back from the good old days whenever you hear it, you know. And then when you combine like this track with the forest track, it kind of makes this world one of the more memorable ones for me. But there you go. Alright, so we do a little platforming, that's pretty self-explanatory, and then shoot down here where we get our checkpoint, and now we can keep going. Let's wait for this chomp to do its thing. There we go. Then we want to jump off of one of these spiders to grab the O. If you miss that one, you've got 1, 2, 3 more chances, so, you know, don't fret if you don't get it the first time, it's no big deal. Now we've got these flying platforms here. Just make sure to duck to get onto the spikes. Once we get to this mushroom, we can jump up here to this climbable surface and grab the puzzle piece on top. Now if you fall down, it doesn't really matter if you land on the platform or not, because if you do fall, there's wood right there, so you know it's fine. We do actually need to come down here too, because we can pound this to go to a bonus game. And here we gotta shoot back and forth and avoid the middle barrel. I think it's been a little while since we've done this type, so... just keep on doing the same thing. The strategy's pretty much always the same. And then it always gets to this point where I seem to miss, like, a whole lot of them. I just can't seem to grab them. Okay. So now we just need to hit the middle barrel. Oh. Okay, this is turning out to be harder than the rest of it. Okay, there we go. Alright, so back in the level, we're going to have to go back a little bit in order to get back up, because we've got to bounce off this mushroom and then do a little bit of extra platforming, but it's fine. Alright, so pretty much from here on out, most of the stuff we're going to be doing is going to involve these types of platforms. We've got 3 going around in a circle here with the puzzle piece in the middle. What I like to do is just jump at the bottom and then land on the next one. If you want, you could try to fall from the top, but I think that's a little bit harder to do. So I pretty much like to do it that way. If you have Diddy, it does make it a lot easier because you can kind of hover in the air. So if you don't have that, I could see where that would be pretty difficult to get. Alright, and now here we've got all these bananas going around in a circle. It's pretty obvious what they want us to do, so just grab them all. Once you do that, a puzzle piece appears, and that is number 5. And now let's keep going. You can see there's another puzzle piece down there. You need to do a roll and jump in order to grab that. You have to jump a lot later than you might feel comfortable doing, so if you miss that one, there's really no going back for it. So you pretty much just have to hope you get it on the first try. Now here we've got a bunch of platforms sort of going in a figure 8. Basically, just hold on until you get to the end. There's a spider up there at the top, which pretty much just pops down from out of nowhere, so I kind of forgot it was there, but go figure. This ring doesn't really have anything, just a coin, so you don't need to worry about it too much. Now here, we're going to have to stick around here for just a little bit. We want to ride these platforms back up, because there's actually a puzzle piece for us at the top. Once we get up here, you want to jump off the spider, and you can see it right there, then land back on the platform, because you can fall and die. So, you know, don't want that. Now the G is on this platform right there. That's a pretty easy one to jump back to. And now we just keep on going. I think that should be 100%. Let's check. Yeah, 7-7 and Kong. Awesome. So all we need to do is finish now. Almost got hit by that spider. Alright, get back around here. There we go. Just a little bit more. We're pretty much right at the end here. So duck under the spikes, go back to the right, and here's the exit barrel. And again, this one's pretty hard to time what you want, so I usually just get whatever. It doesn't matter. So there we go. That is 5-3. And I think you can really tell that it's actually quite a lot harder at this point, especially if you compare it to the beginning of the game. So it has been nicely, gradually building up, and I do like that. It's honestly kind of rare these days for a game to have a good difficulty curve. So I'm very pleased. But okay, so now that we've done that, it looks like we've unlocked the shop, so I guess we should go ahead and jump on in, see what he's got to say. I don't know if we find the golden banana. I hear it's glorious. I'm sure it is. Maybe you should play Donkey Kong 64. There's a lot of them there. Alright, so let's buy the map key. Sure, take the easy way out. Well, I don't have another choice, do I? See you later, alligator. Yeah, he's old and still thinks that's cool, I guess. Anyway, that's going to unlock that path down there, which is almost certainly not the next one. So we're going to move on to 5-4, Tippin Totems. And once again, the name of the level sort of signifies what we're going to be dealing with here. It's going to be a lot of totems, and they are going to be tippin'. So there you go. As you can see from the intro, we can head to the left if we want to grab a banana coin, but since I really don't care, I'm just going to skip it and not waste the time. We're going to be seeing a lot of these in this level. You can kill them by jumping on them, but if they're on the ceiling, which they will be a lot later, then there's not really too much you can do about them. So for now, let's just keep going. There's just a banana coin up there. It looks like that might have been a good place to hide a puzzle piece, but they didn't, so I guess it's just kind of there to fake you out. Then we need to keep going, and here's the totems that the name of the level's talking about. You can see the K is right underneath this thing, and then the puzzle piece is down to the left. Now here we've got some totems that are going to be going across to the right. The goal here is to grab all the bananas in this line, which is a lot easier to do with Diddy, but is still possible without him. It's just a lot harder. So now we keep on going and meet our first checkpoint. And then you can see a pretty obvious panel here. We want to pound down and be taken to a bonus game. And this is, I'm pretty sure, the first variety we saw, so not too much to say about it. Well, I think I almost missed the barrel, though. That felt really close. Alright, so let's get back to the actual level now. We're gonna have to go through this totem's mouth, and of course he's gonna close down every now and then. Don't dawdle too much. It's really easy to actually be a little bit too slow, but as long as you just move, it's not that bad. Now we're gonna make our way across to the right with these totems going in the opposite directions. Just be somewhat careful about where you're jumping. It's not too bad. Now here to grab the O, we're going to have to pound on this to make a mushroom appear and then get going. It's very easy to get hit by the spores, I guess they would be. I don't know. So just make sure you're somewhat careful and watching each of the things so you know if you're about to get hit or not. And then here, yeah, this is kind of interesting. It's like a hippo on a pole. I don't know exactly how he got there, but you can bounce off him to get things. They really don't do too much besides sit there, so I guess they're just kind of there for show. Alright, now we've got a sleeping totem that we can wake up by blowing in his ear. I guess that would probably wake me up too, so that works. And now here, just be a little bit careful. Take it slow so you don't just, jump off onto nothing. Trust me, it's very easy to have happen. Now at the end, we want to bounce off of one of these to grab the N. And that one can be tricky to get because you can't really go back for it too much. But I suppose it might be possible, but... Alright, now we've got a big yellow bulb on the second climbable ceiling. We want to jump up to it, and there's a puzzle piece hidden inside. That is number 4. Then once we get to the end, jump up onto here. And you can see there's a banana there to the left of the platform. You want to drop down into the barrel, and that will shoot us into another bonus game. And we have definitely seen this type before. So it's going to be another good 30 seconds of me not having anything to say. Racking up the banana coins there too. It's like 290. There'll probably be some inconsistencies with that, because this level I actually tried to do once and it ended up failing, so the banana coin count will probably start out a little bit higher in this video, but I mean, it's not like it really matters at all. So then we've got the G up here. In order to get that, you want to jump to the left off of this totem, and if you go past it, another puzzle piece will show up. That's number 6. There's only one more left. So now just keep going to the right. And there's some more of these hippos. Now here, you want to grab all the bananas up here. I think you can bounce on these things 4 times before they'll disappear, so it's really not that big of a deal. It's actually pretty easy. And there you go. Once you do that, a puzzle piece appears, and now we've gotten 100%. So we pound on the DK thing. The totem will come down and open its mouth, and we can get to the exit barrel. And 11 will work. So there we go. That's all the Kong letters, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. So we're back to the forest, and I believe now, if we were to go back and check out our file select screen, completing this level 100% is the one that puts you at 50% on the file, so we're exactly halfway there. But we're going to move on to 5.5 Longshot Launch. And I would say this is my favorite level of World 5 for sure. It's got the cool music from Treetop Town, and it's pretty much filled with barrel cannons, so it's definitely a pretty neat one and very action-packed. So first at the start, you can see there's a banana coin down there to the left. If we jump down, we'll actually land inside of a barrel and kind of be shot here in a pretty neat little sequence going back and forth through the level. And of course you want to come down there because there's a puzzle piece. And once you're done with that, there is a barrel up here that we can get to by jumping off of one of these guys, and there's a puzzle piece right up there. So yeah, those first 2 can be kind of tricky to find because you have to backtrack a little bit after the first one. Now we want to bounce up here and go through some barrel cannons, left and right. That one's pretty easy to get. Wow, that was kind of close. Then go over, and now we've got the K up there to the left, so make sure to grab that before you go forward. Then up here, and now you want to fire at the top left. You can see there's a puzzle piece right there, and that'll move us on, bouncing off these flowers and on down, which is pretty cool. Now once we get down here, we want to drop down to the left and bounce off this flower to get to a hidden area. There's a puzzle piece. And then we want to drop down to get to yet another hidden area where there's a puzzle piece on the right. So they pretty much give you all 5. It's almost like rapid fire right there. So, I mean, we've only got 2 left, and we're just, barely starting the level. Alright, so let's get into this barrel here and move on over to the right. We're going to have to make a decent shot here to get the O, but even if you mess up, it's okay because you can jump down and the barrel will reappear even though it looked like it got destroyed. So just make sure that you are, pretty good with that, but if you're not, it's alright. So we can go on over to the left and to the right and to the left and keep going back and forth. And then we get to sail through a pretty cool tree thing there, which is awesome. But Alright, so there's a checkpoint, and we can bounce off that for no apparent reason. Don't get anything out of that. And now if we keep on going, we got some neat barrel cannoning to do. We've got to fire through these totems, and it'll destroy some wood planks that cause them to get closed, which is pretty neat. And then we just keep on going. There's not too much to have to worry about here. That's probably why they gave me the first 5 really quickly, because there's really not too much else to get afterwards. And then you can see the end is here on the way. Just make sure to grab it and keep going. We got another neat little shot there. And we're back at the checkpoint. Alright, so let's keep on going to the right, and once we get onto this platform right here, you can see there's another wooden panel that we can pound on, and that'll take us to another bonus game. And here's another one where you got to get the ones going around in a circle. Again, pretty easy. Alright, grab the puzzle piece, and let's get out of here. Now, we should only have 1 left, I think. We got the first 5 really quickly, and then went a few minutes without getting the 6th one, so there you go. Just keep on heading this way. Now, in here, we want to time the shot so that their mouths are open, and we can go through. You can see the G is right there. We actually need to wait and fire up in order to get that one. Now we need to head through here. And just make sure you time the shot well. There's kind of a lag between when you go into the barrel and when it fires, so it might be a little bit uncomfortable. You got to go a little bit sooner than you might think. And then down here we've got our final puzzle piece in a bulb, and that's going to do 100% for this world, so let's just go ahead and grab something and get out of here. So there is the Kong letters and the 7 puzzle pieces. Awesome, let's get going. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a really cool level, very action-packed. I do like the barrel cannon levels. I always liked them in the originals, and I still do, so I guess that makes sense. But we're going to go to 5-6, Springy Spores. And I don't really have too much to say about this level. It's actually not really that memorable, but you could probably tell by the name Spores we're going to be dealing with some mushrooms in this level of the bouncy variety, so you can look forward to that if you want. We can go to the left here if we want to get a coin, which is relatively worthless to me at this point, but it does push me over 300, so that works. Alright, so we've got 7 puzzle pieces to be collecting in this world, and they're actually pretty easy to find. This one's a relatively simple world when it comes to that, so just make sure you get your bouncing right. It's very easy to think you're going to do a full bounce, but then do a small one and end up messing yourself up. Alright, so we gotta get this K here, so we need to wait till he's at the top, then do a short hop across. That's how you get that. It's really not that hard. It seems like you don't really have much of a window, but it's not bad. So we're gonna be swinging across here, and once we get on this side, we can get the bananas if we want. And there's a weak floor here. We can pound on it, and go to the right to get our first puzzle piece, as well as a coin. So now we can bounce back up and keep on heading over. We got some mushrooms to bounce, and you're going to be seeing a lot of this, especially like the curved mushrooms that are kind of at an angle there, shoot you off diagonally, so just keep that in mind whenever you're bouncing. You can see our next puzzle piece up there at the top left by the spikes, so I'm going to clear these guys out, and then we will roll, jump over to get there. Just don't go too far, or you'll run straight into the spikes, of course, so a little bit careful there, but I mean, if you've got life to spare, then it really doesn't matter too much. Now to get this O, we're going to have to do a roll jump. I like to wait until the right end of that platform is pointing up, so you make sure to make the jump. Alright, and then from here on out, it's pretty self-explanatory. Do low hops to get under the spikes there, jump over this guy, get to a climbable ceiling. Now once we pass here, we want to jump onto this one and then go to the left. A puzzle piece is up here. I guess we can grab this little banana bunch while it's here. There we go. Now we got some more of these hippos on poles. We want to do a full jump off of this one to the right to get the end. If you mess up, don't worry, because, as you can see, he goes back up after a while. So what we need to do now, actually, is bounce on these guys 4 times in order to make them all fall off. So make sure you do a full jump off it on the 4th jump, or else you won't be able to get back up. Once you do that, a bunch of prizes fall down, including a puzzle piece. So there you go, and we're at our first checkpoint. I think it's the only checkpoint, actually. I'm pretty sure there's only one in this level, but either way. Alright, now here you can see there's a trail of bananas underneath, which means we're going to need to drop down and into a barrel. Actually, I almost missed that, but there you go. And that will shoot us into this bonus game where you have to avoid the barrel in the middle. You've seen this one before. I always get nervous when it's down to like the last few, you know, because I try to time my shot to hit them, but I don't really consider the barrel in the middle. Alright, there you go. And hit it. Yeah, I still really don't like that one. It really gets me like on edge every time. Alright, so we come back out, and now we can just keep on going. We've got some more spikes we need to do low hops under. If you bounce off this guy, it's okay. If you do a short one, just don't do a full jump, obviously. Now we've got some delicate bouncing to do, but the hippos are pretty big targets. The mushrooms aren't, though, so just keep that in mind. Then we're going to have to sort of bounce off this guy a few times in order to get underneath that wall of spikes. And, okay, now if we want, we can do a full jump off this to get up here. You can also pound that little log that's sticking out there, and it'll cause a mushroom to appear, and you can bounce up off of it. But that's going to complete our Kong letters. Now, we should just have 2 more puzzle pieces to go, and they're both in this section. We want to stay on the left here, because you can see the puzzle piece is right up there. That's number 6. And now we're going to head over to the right and back down a little bit. And there's the final puzzle piece. Thankfully, there is a mushroom underneath it, so you don't need to worry about it too much. And that completes our 7 out of 7 puzzle pieces. Now we just got to find our way up, which can be easier said than done, as you can see. But usually you head over to the right and then head over back to the left, and that'll pretty much take care of it. Then once you get up high enough... The exit barrel is right there, grab it, and we are done with this level. So, like I said, it really doesn't seem that memorable. Like, it's not difficult in any way, there's no real big new mechanics, but it's still cool. I like it. It's better than one of the other levels coming up, which I'll definitely be pointing out once we get there, but for now, that's not bad. I'll take it. But that's going to do it for 5-6. We've got, let's see, 5-7 should be the next one over, because 5-8 is the one that's right next to the boss there. So I'm going to go to 5-7, Wigglevine Wonders. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? So the Wigglevines that we're going to be encountering in the stage really aren't used elsewhere outside of it. In fact, I'm not sure if you ever actually see these things again, but I could be mistaken. They might be later on, but I have no idea. So either way, you don't see them often, we'll put it that way. We got 7 puzzle pieces to be collecting here. The first one we want to get by bouncing off of this guy and getting into this little secret area. There's our first one. So we can pound out and grab this coin that you may have saw earlier. Alright, and now let's do some vine stuff, and here is the Wigglevine. You grab onto it and it'll start moving in some direction, oftentimes to the right, and you want to make sure to grab that K there. That can be kind of hard to get because they're flying in a sort of a zigzag pattern, and also the second puzzle piece is in that bulb, so there you go. I'll wait for this thing to pull us down, and keep going. Now if we go up to the left here, you can see there are some platforms and some vines we can go across, get into the blast barrel, and that will take us to a bonus game. And this one is one of the longer varieties with all the different rows of bananas to get. Wow, okay, that was really close. I was an inch away from just restarting, but there you go. Alright, so now let's finish grabbing these after that scare. Well, at least something interesting happened in this one, right? And there we are. Awesome. I'm just glad I didn't fall off there. That would have been absolutely horrible. Okay, so now let's get back to it. I don't think there's anything in this bulb here. A lot of the puzzle pieces are in these big bulbs, so it's worth checking out pretty much all of them once you see them. Now we got another Wigglevine here, and we've got a long segment where we're going to have to go on through these little sun things. You're going to see a few of these. They get a little bit tougher each time, but there's a lot of those bananas that keep flying in, and they are oftentimes accompanied by one of the Kong letters, so just make sure you're in position to grab it. The O is in that one. Alright, now once we get here, you can see there is a weak section of the floor, but you actually don't want to pound that, because if I remember correctly, it will shoot you through a blast barrel after the next Wigglevine, which we need to go on in order to get the end. So if you do pound it, it makes it a lot harder to get the end. In fact, I don't even know if it's possible at all. I'm not entirely sure where it sets you, because I haven't done that in a while, but there you go. Alright, so yeah, there's the end. Now let's jump across and get the checkpoint. Now here we want to bounce off of this guy, grab the DK barrel, and throw it at the bag. If you miss up bouncing on the guy, it's okay, because you can just jump from here. It's fine. Alright, now we've got a section we can break that we actually do want to break, and it will take us to a blast barrel. We can go up here and get our 5th puzzle piece. Yeah, awesome. Alright, so we got another Wigglevine section to be doing here, and this time the little things are going to fly in. I think they're called, like, Tiki Zings or something, but I'd rather just call them Sun Things, I don't know. But, so yeah, you have a little bit less time to react, and they fly in some interesting patterns. Once you get here, go straight up to grab the G. That one can be hard if you're not expecting it, so just make sure you go up at the end. There's a life balloon there, but I don't really need it, and I was about to skip this, which is our 6th puzzle piece. Cool. Alright, so let's just keep swinging across the vines, and as our next Wigglevine's going to take us down. And watch out for these. Okay, I didn't think there was one in that one, but just checking to make sure. Alright, and I guess we might as well grab the coin since we're down here. Now go up, and I think the final puzzle piece is right there. Awesome. So there's number 7. Now we have our final Wigglevine section where we're kind of going up diagonally, which makes things a lot more awkward. You can't exactly tell where you need to be. So just if you follow the bananas, they always go into safe paths. So if you stay there, then you're guaranteed not to get hit. And this last one has a bunch of coins, so that's probably worth grabbing. And we got another one at the end. What do you know? So we're up to 330 now. Weren't we just at like 300 in the last level? Oh well. So that takes care of the Kong letters and the puzzle pieces, and now we're all ready to move on to 5-8. We're just about done with this world. We got 5-8, the K, and the B. So 8 is really, really annoying, though. It's definitely my least favorite in this world. So we made a nice little circle around that, which is pretty interesting looking. But we're going to move on to 5-8 Muncher Marathon. And you can probably guess by the combined notion of the title and what I said in the last part that this is not really one of my favorite levels. It does have the cool treetop town music at the beginning, but it goes away rather quickly, so I don't factor that into whether I like it or not. But let's just go ahead and get into it, and you'll see what I'm talking about once we do so. So we go over here, and the first puzzle piece is up to the top left, which we want to bounce off of these eggs. And by now, you've probably figured it out. The name Muncher Marathon and these baby spider eggs, I think we can guess what's going to happen. So once we pound these logs, the baby spiders will start chasing you. So at this point, you pretty much just need to get a move on. And there's a large wave of them that we may or may not see. Well, it looks like we are going to get to see it. In fact, yep, there it is. So you want to keep moving before that thing touches you. If it does, then it's instant death. So it'll be somewhat quick here. The K is up here. You want to jump and grab it. And then the second puzzle piece is in this bulb up here. Now roll through the gate and then do a roll jump underneath. That one can be really tricky. If you jump too early, you'll hit your head on that platform and end up not making the jump and dying. So, yeah, that one's kind of annoying. I had quite a few problems with that before. Now the O is up here. You want to pound to make a mushroom appear and then grab the climbable ceiling. Make your way across. This is kind of a little break here. Alright, now this part you want to roll through. You want to be somewhat quick because you got to grab the M, but that's not why you need to be quick. Once you get over here, you want to bounce off that and then go to the left and pick up the puzzle piece. If you're not fast at that before, then you will probably die trying to get that puzzle piece. So, alright, now I'm in a little bit of trouble here because I've lost Diddy, so it's going to be a little bit slower going. But here we need to go all the way back around and avoid the spiders, go up, and keep on going. As you can see, this level is definitely not relaxed at all. In fact, just barely made it. Look at that. Oh, man. So, whew. Alright, you can breathe now. You're safe for a minute. I want to make sure... Yeah, we got all the puzzle pieces. The G is still to be had here, so that's fine that we didn't get it. Alright, so now let's bounce off this thing into the blast barrel and keep going here. We're going to see the Munchers again, but you don't really need to worry about them too much because this is pretty much fixed. You saw the G there. Make sure you grab that before continuing onward. Once you get here, just shoot and get something. I'm not going to stick around and wait. And then that will let us finish the level. So, yeah, it's fast-paced, and getting all the puzzle pieces and Kong letters can be really annoying because you don't have time to stop and look. So, this one probably will take you a few tries if you haven't done it before. I actually practiced it quite a lot off-screen, so that's why I was able to actually get it done. Alright, and since we finished all the normal levels, that's now going to unlock the K level, and then all that's left to do after that, beat the boss and move on to World 6. So, I'm going to take on 5K, Blast, and Bounce. And as you can see, I've went and got Diddy off screen. Getting him actually makes this level so much more doable. If you try to come in here just with Donkey Kong by himself, then this level can be very, very difficult, mostly because you only have 2 hits. You'll almost certainly see me losing Diddy at some point during this, so this one can be pretty tough. Alright, so we want to bounce off these guys and then do a full jump off of this one and hover over to grab the puzzle piece there. If you don't have Diddy, that one can be hard to get. I find it's best to do by doing a roll jump off that first platform. Now we've got more barrel cannons to deal with. We're basically going to be dealing with a lot of these, since the name of the level is Blast and Bounce. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of cannons and a lot of tires as well to bounce off of. Alright, now once we get here, we want to grab into that one, and then we get to the top right. Then here, instead of firing into the barrel, you want to go to the top right again, which will take you to the next puzzle piece. That one can be very hard to figure out, so you might just have to do some trial and error there. Alright, then here we just need to make our way across, obviously avoiding these enemies here. If you bounce off all these, you'll be able to get a life at the end of it, so it might be worth trying. Well, you kind of have to because you don't have any land underneath. The puzzle piece can be gotten by getting a full jump off of the top one there. And now we're going to enter the tire section. We're going to be doing a lot of bouncing. And this is where it gets really annoying because everything's constantly shifting up and down. And getting this puzzle piece without getting hit is quite difficult. So, yeah, you just need to practice that one a little bit. Then here, I like to jump when it's on its bottom of its trajectory so I don't get hit by that. Then here at the top, and that's fine. And I haven't gotten hit yet, which I'm quite surprised about. So, I don't know, maybe I won't lose Diddy after all, but... Alright, so here we're going to have to do some very strange timing. You might not know how to do this. What I like to do is do it when it's right over top of the barrel in the direction I'm firing. For instance, I want to hit it when it's right over top when it's going to the right, which if you do it a little bit too soon, you'll hit the one right above you. So it's just kind of a matter of trying to figure out the timing best. It can be pretty hard, so, you know. Don't discount that by any means. Now once we get here, we're about at the end. We want to do some more barrel cannons. Here you can see the puzzle piece at the very right of the screen. You want to fire when this is at the top. It'll send you over those enemies and into the next barrel. Now from here on out, we pretty much just need to keep on going since we have all the puzzle pieces. And this looks really complicated, but all you need to do is fire when the barrel to the right of you is lined up. That's all you need to watch for. Ignore everything else. And as long as you do that, you'll get through here just fine. Then go into this section, and that will take us to the end. Let's make sure we got all 5. Yeah, we did. I thought we did, but I just wanted to make sure. So now we can go here and grab the yellow orb and finish off this level. So, what do you know? I kept Biddy after all. I'm quite surprised, but... And you can also see where it's sort of nearing the end. There are only 3 more of the K levels to deal with, so we are more than halfway there, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's head back out to the forest, and now all that's left to do is to take on the boss of this world, and then we can move on to the 6th one. So, we're just about to finish up World 5 with Mangoruby Run. And this boss, it really isn't anything too big or memorable or anything. It's actually kind of boring if you ask me, but, well, we still have to do it anyway, so I guess that works. Alright, so let's start the battle here. Basically, the big flashing arrow kind of gives it away. You want to pound on this first, and then quickly make your way around to pound all the other ones. The platform's going to start to spin, and the boss is going to come up and try to eat you, pretty much. All you need to do, really, is just avoid him and make your way to each of the platforms. It can be either really easy or really hard, depending on what he wants to do. Eventually, at some points, he'll start to slow down like he's kind of doing right now, and that makes this a lot easier. He will, of course, speed back up after a little bit, but then once you pound all of them, that will make the lights come back on, and apparently that makes him weak. I don't really know why that is. But at this point, this can be a little bit tricky to do as well. You gotta bounce on him, but not on his head. I think he'll take damage if you bounce on his head, so you gotta bounce in the middle of his body somewhere. And, well, pretty much just repeat the same process. You're not going to see too much else. Of course, if you're a little bit slow, it's very easy to get hit, but there are hearts placed around quite a bit. So if you do get hit, it's really easy to just keep your distance and try to find some recovery. Now here, well, he's slow, but I'm still going to get hit by him anyway, aren't I? Alright, so let's make our way around so we can get behind him, and then pound this one, and you can see another heart appears if you didn't get hit, so... then we can pound this, and go up here and pound this, and jump on it. Awesome. So I think we only need to repeat this one more time. Of course, the other thing is his body does get shorter every time you hit him, so just keep that in mind. Oh man, I keep doing that, like getting hit right as he comes out. Alright, so let's get this one. Wow, he's really fast. Okay, well, we lost Diddy. That kind of sucks, but we'll be alright. Up here. Is there a heart in here? Yeah, there is, but it didn't really matter now, did it? Alright, so we're just about done here. Let's see, yeah, fake him out that way and then go around. You can also see he's kind of dropping these little electric things. You can't really see it that well, but they will, like, sort of land on the ground and cause these little electric shockwaves to come out. It's really nothing too much to worry about, but it's there, so just keep that in mind. And there you go. Once you hit him one more time, he's finished. Alright, so let's beat this guy up. I don't think we did that well. I think I felt a lot of pauses in there. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to see. 20? Okay, that's about average, but there you go. So, unfortunately, we lost Diddy, but that's okay. We'll get him back soon, I'm sure. So, there we go. We've now beaten the boss of World 5. Like I said, it's actually kind of boring. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but, well, it's there, so we gotta do it. We did, and now we can move on to World 6. I like that you hear that music after you beat the boss level. I wish you could hear it after each level, like in the original one, but, oh well, I guess that's just not meant to be. Alright, so as you can see, the next world is the Cliff, and I would say it's probably my least favorite world in the game, but it is one that we have to do, and we are getting close to the end. Once we get to the Cliff, there's only a couple more worlds we need to take care of, so that is pretty cool. But next time we're going to take on the Cliff, so until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then.